following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, Rob Phillips, and Kyle Yeomans.
It is a Say It With Your Chest Friday here on Talkin Cowboys. Goodness. Now let's do that again. Say It With Your Chest Friday here on Talkin Cowboys, presented by Tostitos, helping fans get in on the game and our favorite chip and our favorite dip of Talkin Cowboys. Glad you're with us here from the SWBC studios at the Star in Frisco. Glad you're with us as always for this Friday, because guess what? We've got one last Say It With Your Chest Friday prior to the regular season finale. Then we get into Say It With Your Chest every day because it's playoff time here in Dallas. Alongside Heckma Harrison, Isaiah Stanback, we've got Rob Phillips.
Peasy.
Back on the virtual side of things. Glad he's back today. And, of course, we've got Cowboys Nation about to have some fun with us over the next couple of minutes. But, gentlemen, how are we doing?
Good. Good. You okay?
Yeah, I've got something in my eye.
Okay, well, you sound like you're about to cough up a fur ball.
That also. Yeah, I've got a little bit of both going on. It's not necessarily the best best start for me.
Let us know, dog.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Right in.
Goodness gracious. Rob, how are we doing today?
Doing all right. We already have that drop somewhere, Chris.
I know.
You said hey, say it with your chest. It's already done.
I don't think this one was as bad, but it's early in the morning, and it's funny because I had a radio call already, and I had no problems on the radio call, and then I step in here, and it's nothing but just coughing, and I don't know, maybe I'm allergic.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Isaiah, how are you?
I am doing good, man. Rob Peters is giving me some Billy Hoyle type vibes right now. Looks like he's about to go play a pickup game from White Man Can't Jump.
Damn.
Hey, Jump, you want to run? You mean play basketball? Yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Me. I'm only missing my parental advisory T-shirt right now.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it. Rob was a hooper back in the day. He still could probably hoop if it wasn't for the knees in the back.
Come on, man. Rob P would be the sleeper, just like the White Man Can't Jump.
Oh, Rob, how many?
I am the real life Billy Hoyle. I really am.
I'm sure if Rob actually wanted to get out and actually play, I feel like he would 100% be able to do
He probably
that.
would got a game. He probably wear the high socks, putting the cash in the socks and everything.
Oh, goodness.
That's hilarious.
I want to see that so bad.
Wear two different socks. That's me.
If
we ever have this fake inter-show competition that we are always talking about, then I'll be the free throw guy. I'll just stand
that
there.
Works.
Now you did see Schefter just pulled his bluest MCL doing the gritty.
He did the gritty.
See?
So that's Rob
my
P.
fear.
Rob
That's
P's
my
gonna
fear.
pull his back out. It's gone. So don't even.
Rob can
about
play. He can play like horse or something. That's what it'll be. It'll be a shooting contest.
Something stationary.
Yeah, where you're standing still and you choose a spot and then you shoot. So that'll be what Rob's able to.
I'm going to leave the
put
running
together.
to you guys. Yes.
Is that ever going to happen? Probably.
I'm not fooling with Rob P. Rob P looked like he would just pull some straight Dan Marley out and just start busting from just the half court.
That would be so fantastic. But all right, let's talk some Cowboys. It is a Friday. Cowboys take on the Eagles tomorrow, which is wild. It's a Saturday game. Cowboys are 15-14 all time in Saturday games. For those wondering. Rob, any news and notes coming out of yesterday? I know there was a couple big names put on the COVID list. We'll get to that in a moment. But what else came out of practice yesterday?
Well, I'll save the COVID news for you. I think, honestly, maybe the rest of this season into the playoffs, maybe we got to start news and notes with the COVID news, because that is the elephant in the room, hanging over the Cowboys, hanging over the rest of the league and all the rest of the teams that have made the playoffs, man. Just who can stay healthy beyond injuries. As far as injuries go, the Cowboys are relatively healthy going into this game. They've got a couple guys questionable. Tony Pollard with the foot and Jaron Curse with the hamstring. So both guys would have been limited on Thursday if they had an actual practice. So that's encouraging going into the game. But again, the Cowboys have said, even as far as yesterday, Mike McCarthy said the plan is still to play the starters. If guys are banged up, though, we'll see what the playing time will look like for guys dealing with stuff. And that includes Zeke, maybe Zeke. We'll see. I mean, he says he's playing. He's not on the injury report this week in terms of game status designation, but something to keep an eye on with guys who've been banged up.
Do you expect that to happen, Isaiah? I mean, we were just talking about this a couple days ago, and I believe it was the Tuesday show about whether or not to rest guys, but you also didn't have your starting left tackle out. You didn't have potentially a couple other players not playing in the game as well. So does that change your thinking at all on the way that you attack this one?
Initially, no. I believe there's going to be a point in this game where you do pull your starters out in preparation for the following week. But I think that you need to be in a good place in terms of the win. Your opportunities to win the ball game at that point in time in the game, and then also how you're feeling about the execution of your game plan at that point in time. So I think it's kind of twofold. You need to be in a position to win the ball game, and then you also need to be feeling good about how you guys have performed.
Yeah, my opinion is that this team, that the coaches look at this as a preseason game, especially with what's going on with COVID. And I'm echoing everything that you just basically said, and pulling guys after, hey, you've seen what you needed to see. Obviously, there have been coaches in the league like Belichick, even in preseason games, where he doesn't see what he needs to see, and guys stay out there for a whole 4 quarters. But I think with a talent-depleted team due to COVID, due to the guys being on the little knick-knack injuries that they have right now, I think there's no sense in risking it all in this game, especially knowing what you may potentially have coming to AT&T Stadium next week.
Yeah, and it's such a fine line that you have to toe, because even if you treat it like a preseason game, you still want to win the game. I mean, it is a regular season matchup.
You need to win the game.
You want to win the game to get into the momentum and the playoffs.
You need to win the game, because even though it's a 93% chance that you're going to hold where you're at in terms of your positioning in the playoffs and your ranking, you need to win a game. Because as you mentioned yesterday, Kyle,
there's an if.
There's an if factor, and that if factor is a huge if, because if the situation plays itself out, now you're going from the 4 seed all the way up possibly to the 2 seed. That's major in this NFC.
That's
huge.
Potentially another home game.
It's another home game. That's cool, but I'm talking about the type of competition that you're going to face in the playoffs. It's a huge difference.
You're talking about the Eagles as opposed to the Rams or the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we knew that last week, though, right? Did we not? We knew that that there would be a seeding difference. I mean, even the way that it plays out for the Eagles.
No, they lost their opportunity last week. They screwed up.
Right. And what I'm saying is, even the Eagles, if they lose, they could potentially go from 7 to 6 because there's so many other games that are contingent on one another. So I'm not all I'm handling is Cowboy business and saying that right now, with what P just said, we're relatively healthy. Besides the injuries to key individuals, we have to understand Jerron Kearse, if he doesn't play, he's the guy that wears the green dot as well. Who's going to take up the mantle on that? There's just so many other things that are going. I want to see this defense obviously get some turnovers, do some great things, but I want to see him get off the field as soon as possible. And all of that's going to be contingent on, hey, if we could go out there and get a big lead and get our guys out.
Yeah, go and smack them in the mouth real quick.
Rob P., did those guys in Philly, did they get off the COVID list yet?
Yeah, it's not. Well, I'm not sure about everybody. I think Nick Sirianni said that at least a couple guys, including Jason Kelsey, were going to be good to go for this game. But you know what we're talking about right now is the same questions they're talking about in Philly. Like, how long does Sirianni plan to play his starters as well? So this game may just come down to availability. Who's out there and you know who how many key guys are playing how many snaps for both teams in this game?
Well, and we know at the moment, at least as of Thursday heading into Friday, the Cowboys will be without 3 of their starters, Micah Parsons, and then yesterday adding Tyron Smith and Anthony Brown to the mix as well in terms of COVID lists. So that's the COVID news today. Tyron Smith, we've seen what this offensive line looks like without him. It's going to be Terrence Steele, Ty Nsekhe at the left tackle spot, one of the two. Probably going to be Ty Nsekhe. At least that's what it was lately for the Cowboys. And then Anthony Brown, I don't know if we've really seen a depleted cornerback room outside of the one game where Jordan Lewis missed. So Kelvin Joseph time? Kelvin Joseph available to try and take some significant snaps here, Rob?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. Well, I don't think it's a possibility. With no Anthony Brown, I think absolutely it's an opportunity for him. And the Cowboys have been very impressed with not only his production in the low amount of snaps he's gotten on defense, but just his approach to everything. You know, he wasn't a big special teams guy in college, and didn't expect to be a special teams guy when he came into the league as a second-round draft pick. Mm-hmm. And he's embraced that role this season after he came back from the groin injury. So they've been really happy with him. And you've seen it in some of these snaps that he's had. You see his talent, and his ability to cover. So I'm excited to see him out there and get a full dose for sure.
Isaiah?
I think he has to. I think he needs the reps. As you start talking about some of the depth that you're going to require going into the playoff run at that position specifically because of the type of receivers that you're going to be facing, he needs the reps. We talked about it all the way back in camp, how he needs to get some exposure, and then obviously throughout this regular season, he didn't get enough reps. Over the last few weeks, he started getting back on the field and started getting his legs underneath him, coming off the injury and all that jazz. But it is a necessity for him to get some form of wear and tear on him. He needs to get his feet underneath him. He needs to get a sense of confidence because when he steps on the field and make his contribution in the playoffs, it's going to be against the best dudes this league has to offer. And
I think we're all surprised that Kelvin Joseph did get more run than what he's been seeing here lately. And you're right. I mean, coming out of camp, you thought that Kelvin Joseph was going to be a part of that rotation. That's a testament to Jordan Lewis and the job that he's done. But I'm with Rob too. Better late than never. Better get in here now. And let's take the same approach with what we said yesterday about Micah Parsons being out and other guys like Luke Gifford. Obviously, these are not names that you're used to saying, hey, let's get these guys some playing time. But you're going to need all of these guys in the playoffs, especially if you make a deep run, especially if there are injuries.
And COVID. That's another thing that's kind of worrisome about the fact going into this playoff run and you saw one guy, now it's two guys. I mean, this is how those types of things begin. And it's terrifying, honestly, to think about how a playoff push could be upended by positive COVID tests. So, Rob, I mean, you haven't necessarily been here, but you've been plugged in on what is happening in that regard. Are the Cowboys taking any extra steps in terms of trying to slow down what could be a COVID spread?
Well, I mean, they're doing everything they can in terms of following the protocols. They've gone virtual recently with meetings, and guys are trying to, take their own steps personally. You hear guys talk about that. You heard Dak talk about that. They're doing what they can. But as we know, we see it in society, this Omicron variant is so contagious that, you can be fully vaxxed, you can be boosted, you can get it. And that, the good news about it, if you want to call it a silver lining, is that it does appear to be milder. Mm-hmm. Guys are getting over it faster, and that's one reason why I think the NFL has changed their protocols and allow guys to get back faster. It's not a guaranteed 10 days anymore. And so that's encouraging. For the guys, you just mentioned that Micah Parsons, who's on the list this week, you would think no problem, and hope he feels good, gets back quick. He should be back for the playoff game. But like you said, I mean, if this happens next Thursday or next Friday to somebody, that certainly puts their availability in jeopardy. And that makes this playoffs the ultimate crapshoot right now. Because it can really happen to anybody, and you're just crossing your fingers. And so, Trayvon Diggs, you mentioned, he's on the list with an illness, non-COVID illness. Same with Donovan Wilson. So just keep an eye on anybody who's feeling sick and just see how it develops. And you just cross your fingers. That's all you can do.
Oh man, I hate every single part of that.
Well, I'm not. Look, man,
it's true though.
Heckman, go keep up with your workouts. Okay? Get you some thigh pads, get you a couple knee pads. Let's get ready to hit this thing, just in case they got a call on you, big dog.
Heckman's got that linebacker in him still.
If they had to call you in right now, Heckman, what position are you going in at?
Hey, just how much is the check though?
Oh, you getting about a good
straight.
I give you 75 for the game.
75
for the game.
Wherever they need me.
Quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
No, man. I'm not going to get on my soapbox about this, man. I've been so pissed off at everything when it comes down to this variant, this virus, and what our players are doing, what other players around the league are doing, and saying, I'm just not going to do it. All I'm going to say right now is that our window of opportunity just opened. It opens next week.
Debo.
Yeah, it does. And Wilson, right?
Climbing through that door. Yep, window.
Wilson. All right. And that's all. We have our opportunities, and we have got to have our guys. They got to take this thing serious right now. And whether it be, look, 4 weeks of isolation. I've heard.
Sound like you want them to go on lockdown for 4 weeks. Heck.
All I'm saying is, you know what you have at stake. If you know what you have at stake, then you take the precautions. Like you heard guys talking about through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, family wasn't coming in. Now we have a situation where, man, we're paying for the Lombardi. The Omni Hotel is right over here. It's beautiful.
So I need to hear you say it. Lock it down, Heck.
Bubble this thing.
Bubble it up.
Bubble
boys.
Shrink wrap everybody.
You have the opportunity, and
I'm sorry, Chris.
You talked about this all the way back in the early parts of the season. You talked about it. You get one shot at this, one shot at it, and you don't want to mess it up. I mean, how easy would it be for you to make that decision? I mean, it's easy for us to sit in this room and talk about it because we're not on the team. We're not the ones that are having to bubble up. But if you're a player, where should this be on your priority list?
High. Very high. I played 6 seasons. I had, I think, five playoff opportunities, and probably there's 2 teams that I felt like I could have walked out with a ring. Two opportunities out of those 5 opportunities, I think we could have walked away with a ring.
Yeah.
I was blessed to be one of the individuals in this league that walked away with a ring. And I know there's a lot of players that I know personally that are way better, that were way better players than I was, that did not walk away with one. And they walk away with their stats, they walk away with their experiences and their memories, but they don't walk away with something significant to say that they were a part of the greatest thing that ever happened. And I would hate for guys to miss that opportunity, which is very prevalent right now. It's definitely on the cusp, just simply because of comfort or simply because of convenience or inconvenience, right? Take advantage of the fact that you are playing for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have an amazing resources. Jerry Jones has laid things out here perfectly in terms of being able to walk over to the hotel, walk straight into the practice facility, walk straight into the meetings, have all your food at your disposal, everything that you need right there. You don't have to do anything. You're going to be staying at the Omni. Montebello Tutti Frutti, right? You're not staying at anything else. The Omni, okay? And you have the top-of-the-line facilities. Take advantage, fellas. If there's an opportunity to lock this thing down, lock it down. You have I'll take it back. After this week, you got a 5-week stretch. 5-week stretch where you can go out there, shoot your gun, and hopefully walk away with something, because this team will not be the same next year.
That's the God's honest truth, man. And lock it down. That's all I have. And I think the only, as you were saying all of this, I'm thinking about, being secluded from possibly my family, my wife wouldn't forgive me, but she will forgive the vacation after the Super Bowl.
That's true. That's true. I wonder where we're at in terms of the offense and defense and their vacation bet that they made with the touchdowns versus turnovers. I have to go back and look at that.
Well, the offense had 3 touchdowns. They're good.
That's true. They may have distanced themselves.
Let me give you an example. When we went to the Super Bowl when I was with the Giants, we went and my wife she was 9 months pregnant. 9 months pregnant, okay? About to pop. Okay, and I told her, I said, hey, chill out. Like, I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna go out. We're gonna go out here and take care of this game, and then I'll be back to take care of you. Just chill. We don't need any accidents. No pressure from the airplane. None of that stuff. Bringing on your delivery too early. My wife looked at me like I was crazy. She said, "You think I'm about to miss this? There's no way in the world I'm about to miss this opportunity."
She go domino at the Super Bowl.
Come on, man. Bruh, my wife I'm talking about stomach way out here. She hopping over the front doggone, hopping over the doggone seats, hopped on into the field after the game, because she recognized that this was a very important opportunity. This was a once-in-a-lifetime chance that I had. Out of all the great teams that I was a part of, this was one shot, right? And she was not going to miss that. So she was willing to go through whatever it took to handle all the different inconveniences, on being uncomfortable, all those things, risking the pregnancy in terms of coming earlier than you want, simply because she knew how important it was going to be.
That's one way to put it. That's a great way to put it, and I think the Cowboys should certainly have that in their thought process going into this final week, and
can you imagine
if they haven't already.
Can you imagine what Jerry would do with that ring?
Dude, the parade, the ring. We were watching, of course, Dirk retired his jersey a couple days ago, and they had his whole thing going on at the American Airlines Center, and they were showing all the footage of the parade. I was like, wow, that parade was nuts, man. That was crazy.
That's my greatest memory.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous.
Could you? I don't
The
even.
parade,
I don't want to get into
it would be ridiculous, but the ring would be even more insane. Jerry would spare no expense.
You've ever seen like a China plate?
Bruh.
See, guys, y'all doing what I.
It would probably be the first 3 ring. Like, you remember like brass knuckles? You have to probably put it on like brass knuckles.
It'd be all 3. It'd be all.
Oh
my goodness!
Y'all are doing what I've been doing all week with the Powerball deal. So stop, man.
Trying to win the lottery.
Just imagining where I would
what would happen here? All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll tell you how to make some money on DraftKings.
Hey.
Who is your DraftKings player to watch? We'll hit that and tell you who else you should be looking out for in the Cowboys and the Eagles when we come back with more Talking Cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Verilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar. And a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done...
Get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here with more Talking Cowboys presented by Tostitos. It's a Say It With Your Chest Friday, and it's a great people, great pay replay. And you've heard it already. Jason Witten has joined the Caliber Collision team. You can join him to do great work with great people for great pay and apply right now at jobsatcaliber.com. That is jobsatcaliber.com.
The flick of the wrist, baby.
Stop it.
All right,
Quit it.
Do it.
Quit it. Rob Phillips back again. We've got Isaiah Stanback. Heckma Harrison. Chris Beam. We're sorry, everybody at home listening. We've got some inside jokes, and we can't share it.
Nope.
We cannot share
Not
it.
that one.
Not this one.
No, sir, I will not.
Not this one. All right, let's take a look at some of our DraftKings players to watch this week. Of course, DraftKings, you can compete every week for over $1 million in prizes on DraftKings.com. And this is not against the New York Giants up at the top, but this is against the Philadelphia Eagles. We promise these are our current picks. Tony Pollard up there at the top with just $6,000 along the way. That's my pick. And the reason I say that is he had 60 yards and a touchdown in week 3 against this Philadelphia team. If they do decide to limit the workload of Ezekiel Elliott, I think Tony Pollard will see a ton of time out there at the running back spot. Heckma Harrison, who'd you have?
I have Malik Turner.
Ooh.
And the reason I went Malik
That's
Turner.
That's a value pick.
Yes, value pick, but also this looks like a game for the value pick because he may get a number of reps in this game due to the fact that we're going to pull our guys after the first quarter.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah.
What? Are they going to pull
Is
Darius
it because
Slay?
of score?
Because of score.
Ooh.
I'm on there.
But are they going to pull Darius Slay?
Probably. They need to. They should. If they knew what was good for them, I mean, they have that secondary. Besides, that's the only big name they have. So I figure if you're going to Tampa, if that's going to be your first game, you may want to have Darius healthy. Just saying. Malik
Turner. And you think about the games where he has played significant snaps. I mean, he's played exceptionally well. So, hey, I like it. It's a fantasy value pick from Heckma Harrison. All right, Isaiah, who did you have?
Well, there's no discounts over here. I'm going with the old Dalton Schultzenegger. You guys see him, $5,300. But there's a reason why I'm picking Mr. Dalton Schultz. Dalton he's fell off. All right, he's fell off. Sure. And he wants to get back up on that thing. Anybody ever fell off a jet ski before?
Yeah.
You hurry up and you climb back up on that thing because you're not sure what's in the waters. So Dalton Schultz is going to climb back up on that thing because he knows that Blake Jarwin's in the water and Blake Jarwin is on his way back. And you see the opposing rank right there at 31. The Eagles suck against those guys, against tight end position. So Dalton wants that old thing back. He's going to try to get it back this week.
Can we take a second? So your fear when you fall off a jet ski is what's in the water, not necessarily just getting back on the jet ski?
Get me up out the water. You can't see in there.
Chris Beam has the kind of jet skis that'll scoop you up out of the water.
Yeah, it's got like an arm and just a retractable arm, and it just goes out and just plucks you up like a claw machine.
That's definitely Go-Go Gadget.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't have that. I usually just rent mine.
What do you think he does after the shows? He just goes all the way out to the lake and he gets on his jet ski. All right, Rob, who is your pick here on DraftKings?
Yes, Chris has all the jet skis. I like that analogy. I'll go with Cedric Wilson. Kind of the same reason as Heck. We'll see how long the starters play in this game. I mean, I don't think we really know for sure how it's going to go. And is there a more efficient player on this roster than Cedric Wilson?
No.
He's been targeted 55 times this season, has 40 catches. He's like a high efficiency player in the NBA. You know, a solid 3-and-D guy. He's going to be efficient from three. He's going to D up. Cedric does all those little things at the receiver position, plays special teams as well, and you saw what he could do with Michael Gallup out last week, so I'll take Cedric.
Well, I love it when you talk basketball, Pete. Boy, hey, I love that.
Billy.
Yeah, right?
Billy Hoyle.
You get some passing
Go
yards
Billy
out of him,
Hoyle,
too.
all show.
Did you hear Chris there? He said you could get some passing yards out of him, too, because he's thrown a couple passes throughout the season. Had a completion.
5 for 5.
Yeah.
5 for 5.
Exactly. So, hey, maybe you could get some dual threat. That brings me to the topic of conversation, though, and the reason why we had Rob kind of bring up the rear, though. But without Michael Gallup, is this Cedric Wilson's best opportunity to try and make some money? Maybe not with the Dallas Cowboys, but to really put some good film out there and allow him to try and get out of the shadow of the big three, because that's what he has been throughout his career. He's been productive. He's put up numbers. He's been successful. But if you're not CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup in this system, you're not going to get that same type of praise. So I'll start with you, Heckma. Is this his best opportunity in a playoff run, final week of the regular season, to finally make a name for himself and try and propel his career forward?
Yeah, I mean, if you keep it real with yourself, you will say that Cedric's already done that. I mean, he's shown you that he's a valuable four. Michael Gallup's already missed some time. But also, he's shown you that he's just the four, right? If you're going to try and vault him into being a two or anything like that, that's just putting way too much on his plate. I think for what he does for special teams wise, but at receiver, I mean, he's definitely a guy that can make some plays for you. I question whether he can do what Mike G does as far as take the top off of a defense. It's the speed portion of it for me, because you see that from Michael Gallup. And so, look, he does have an opportunity that's in front of him to earn some, but again, man, there's no replacing Mike G.
What do you think?
Facts. I hope that he goes out there and balls out and does, has a heck of a resume. And he already has a great resume. I hope he adds to it. That's my hope for all these guys on these rosters in the NFL and on Dallas Cowboys. Go out there and do the best that you can, have amazing film so that you can position yourself for the best opportunity going forward. I do hope that Dallas will retain him. He is a huge part of this roster. He makes huge contributions, obviously, offensively and special teams wise. And if he can't get the bag here, then I hope he goes and gets the bag somewhere else.
Rob?
Yeah, for sure. Like, he's got the skill set in the game that you can play 10, 12 years in the league. Even if you're not a star, starter, Pro Bowl guy, but the fact that he can play all three receiver positions, you can put him anywhere. He plays special teams. He's versatile in that regard. He's quarterback friendly. I mean, that's a guy that can play a long time in the league and make a good amount of money as well. I don't know what his market value is going to be after the season, and I'm with Heck. I mean, I think Michael Gallup brings you, some game breaking potential in terms of that deep ball threat. But Ced has been huge for this team this season.
Where does his relationship with Dak Prescott and the way that they've kind of clicked on the same level rank in terms of how successful he has been here? Because I agree, he has all the intangibles. He has the consistency and the speed and the receiving ability. But, Rob, I mean, he's about as tight with Dak Prescott as anybody else in that locker room. How much does that help him out, especially whenever you are thrusted into a role like he has been with the Michael Gallup injury?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. They just do have a nice rapport together. He was asked about that last week, and he said it's just, it's been repetition over the years. He said there's been some situations the last 3 years where he's been asked to step up, and way more so this year. But I don't know. Maybe Isaiah could speak to this for sure. But there's just certain guys that you have a connection with, and I don't think that's the case. I think Dak's got a connection with all his receivers.
Yeah.
I think you're seeing him take a step forward with CD this year as well. But it's definitely there with Cedric. There's definitely a trust there for him.
I agree. I mean, it shows on the field. And there's some guys you just click better with, and that's just a reality. Yeah. There's whether that's more time in the offseason, maybe that's you get them hanging out and being better friends. You don't know, but it shows up on the field, and it's always the benefit. It's always beneficial to the Dallas Cowboys.
Man, if I'm Cedric, hell, I'm outside of Dak's door. I'm waiting on him. Hey, I'm handing him a football every time he walks into the star. I'm trying to get every rep I can from the starting quarterback. So to me, this is just a guy where opportunity is met preparation, and you see what he's able to bring to the table. There's no mystery about it, but I love what you said, P. Dak has a relationship with all of his guys, but I think with Cedric Wilson, he's probably the guy that's waiting around saying, Dak, throw me the ball in practice.
So, I mean, if you go back to last week, prior to the start of the game, the Cowboys are missing 4 starters this week. Tyron Smith, Michael Gallup, of course, Anthony Brown, and Micah Parsons on the defensive side as well. They're missing 4 starters, 2 on both sides of the football. How much does that play a factor into their matchup solely with the Philadelphia Eagles? We talked about a lot of the decision-making from the coaching staff, but X's and O's wise, how does this change things? By the way, before we answer that question, give us a call if you want to be a part of our Pick'em segment coming up in about 5 minutes or so. 888-855-2297. Right now, be a part, represent the fans. We'll pick some games coming up in a minute, but how does the missing pieces affect the X's and O's of this matchup?
Micah Parsons is the biggest, obviously, dismissal for this game. Being the fact that we're already short at the linebacker position, right? You lost Jalen Smith, due to releasing him. Mm-hmm. Then you also lost, what am I blanking out right now? LSU.
Cox.
Yeah. Yes, you lost Jabril Cox. You lost him to his injury. So now you're already shallow at that position. You've been very dependent on Michael Parsons and the contributions he's made this year. Neal's coming back. That's awesome. But now with Parsons being gone, now you're relying on some guys who just haven't had reps. Yeah. Just call it how it is. They just haven't had game reps at the linebacker position. They've had special team reps, Luke Gifford, Bernard, all those guys, but they have not had playing reps in Dan Quinn's system in the actual, game that matters. So this game matters. They're going to be thrusted into that position. The strength of the Philadelphia defense is on the interior defensive lineman. It's not on the outside. They do have Sweat, but he's usually on the right side and not so much on the left side. So that won't be a problem in terms of missing Tyron. And offensively, we should be fine.
You meant Hargrave.
Yeah.
You said Sweat.
Well, I'm saying Sweat's
the edge rusher.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I got you. So here's my thing is this. When Micah Parsons is the guy that you have to look for on defense, but I look at this as an opportunity for the defense as well, because this is a running football team.
Yes, it is.
And so your interior rotation, I think Dan Quinn is going to take a good look at that interior rotation going into the playoffs, and you get an opportunity to look at guys up close. Hey, you talked about the job that Carlos Watkins, Neville Gallimore did, and Osa Odighizuwa did last week versus Arizona. Didn't get a whole bunch of pressure up the gut, right? Yeah. But when you have a team that's running the way that the Eagles have, you want to see these guys get off the ball. So this this ball game, regardless of who plays or how many snaps they play, is going to be won in the trenches, and that's what I want to see from our defense. Offensively, I'm right with you on that. Our offensive line isn't going to change, and their interior is where they're the most strong. So I think we still line up perfectly from an X's and O's standpoint.
Rob?
Yeah, can't disagree with any of that. I agree with you guys in terms of, Terrace Steele's been playing a lot of tackle there. If he's the left tackle in this game, then they're used to that. I mean, you wonder without Tyron in there, does that change how much Dak plays? I mean, Mike McCarthy says no at this point. We'll see. Yeah, I wish we could have seen Micah in this game against Jalen Hurts, and because he can be that spy, he can also be the rusher. Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably the one that stands out the most. But I'm just interested to see how both teams handle this, because you can sit guys at a certain point in the game maybe, but there are only 48 active for the game. So, and you got to factor in special teams and all those things. So how both coaches juggle that, I'm very curious to see.
Which player would you pull first?
Dak?
Dak or Martin?
Dak.
Still. Yeah, especially without Tyron Smith.
Can I say both?
Same time?
You pull them at the same time.
Together. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't think you don't pull Martin before you pull Dak. There's no way you would ever do that. So if it is going to be simultaneous, then that would work as well.
Let me interrupt, guys. I got to ask all you guys this question. Obviously, this is the game we just need to get through healthy. What is you've asked this question before. What's the temperature of the team?
Yeah.
Going into the playoffs, literally, what's the temperature of the team for you? How do you feel about this team going into the playoffs? There's been a lot of scenarios. This is a one-and-done team. How do you believe that this is a team that can make a push? Do you believe they're right on the cusp, or do you think they still need some pieces to ultimately make the push that you want?
So I like loose leaf tea.
Okay.
I drink it every single day. I drink a whole kettle a day. Usually white tea is kind of my thing, white peach. And white peach, you need to make sure that the water is boiling at 175 before you actually put the loose leaf tea in the actual water, okay? Mm-hmm. You got to get the temperature up first, okay? You can't put it in before. I feel like Dallas is at about 145.
Got to heat it up.
It's not heated up. It's not heated up enough, right? It's at 145. I need it at 175. Before I actually put my tea in and start steeping this thing, I need it at 175. Dallas is at like a 145, so it's just not ready yet. It's not cooked all the way. If I was cooking some food, it's not cooked all the way through. And I feel like they need to continue to raise this temperature up. And that's why I asked a question about Dak and Martin, because do you pull Dak out the game knowing that he right now is not where you need him to be going into the playoffs?
And obviously, and Pete, what's your answer on that?
Yeah. No, that's the balance, right? Because I'm sure Mike McCarthy's still looking at this like, I don't want to go into the wild card round without us feeling better about things offensively, Yeah. So it's a tough balance here, and that's a great analogy. Like you don't want lukewarm tea, you want hot tea. So yeah, it's tough. I mean, I feel like they do enough things from a take a drink complimentary standpoint where they can go win a playoff game or two for sure, because defensively they can turn you over. They can make your quarterback extremely uncomfortable. So there's those things that's how you can win in the playoffs. But they've got to be more efficient for sure in the passing game with Dak and everybody. But I think the run game too is where it really stands, especially depending on where they might end up playing past round one if they get past round one. They have got to add some balance to their offense, because I just don't see a situation where he's got to throw 40 times a game. That's not going to look good for your offense in a playoff situation.
Yeah, and I agree. I think to answer your question, I still think this team can make a run. Mm-hmm. And I said it yesterday. If they play to their ceiling, there's nobody that's going to beat them.
Facts.
There's no one that can beat them. If they play as good as they can on the offensive side of the ball, there's nobody in the NFL as good as the Dallas Cowboys. However, that is the biggest if in the entire sport right now.
Yeah, because you're not facing any more Washingtons.
No, you're not. There's no more Washington. There's no more Falcons. There's no more Giants along the way. You've got nothing but dogs, and it's going to get better and better and better. This week, playoff team. Next week, probably playoffs. Well, I mean, it is playoffs, but probably a team with 10-plus wins again, with either the Rams or the Cardinals for the most part. It doesn't get easy from here on out, and if they play to that ceiling, I think they can beat anybody.
I like
so that's
it.
my temperature.
I like it. And look, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page coming in here Monday. I don't want to hear nothing different, all right? You're at 174. I got you.
No.
Oh, 145.
145.
Yeah, I need them to get up to 175.
175.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Damn, we're a long ways away.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, you got 30 degrees to
30
go.
degrees.
Damn, I thought we were closer to that.
Nope. Yeah, but I think that's a great question to ask, and we'll ask that also going into the playoffs, I think, as well. Try and figure it out going into that
Here's
first
why
round
you
game.
should feel good. Sorry, I think going into the season, you felt like, well, they could win playoff games because they could score 40.
Yep.
But I think not only defensively could they grind it out, they've got a field position weapon at punter. They've got great coverage units. They've got other aspects that you could say, wow, they could go to a cold weather game and win something ugly. So I think that's why you should feel good that they could make a run still. But again, offensively, we all know they got to play better, and they're capable of playing better.
Do we want to talk about kicker?
No.
Okay.
We need to talk about
Well,
a break.
there's
Just
that
wanted
too.
to throw it
There's
out
that
there.
too.
Yeah, let's go to a break though. We've got to get our pick'ems here in a second. Don't worry, Chris. It was a joke. I'm getting into it. When we come back, give us a call 888-855-2297. Be a part of the pick'ems when we come back on Talkin' Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Whether you're watching from home or you're cheering in the stands with Essilor lenses, you can see every exciting play. Book an appointment at your local Essilor experts and see what Essilor can do for you. See more, do more. Essilor on Talkin' Cowboys. Final segment. Great job as always. You filled in the shoes of Rob Phillips quite nicely.
My Rob P shot out right there.
No doubt.
Why are you bouncing like that,
Thank
bro?
you.
That's how Rob P does.
Why are you bouncing like that? Man, we are excited to get Rob back next week and have him back in studio. But we've got some games to pick today as we are in our final week of the regular season. We'll pick playoff games too, but this is pretty fun because it's the last time we have the full slate of the 6 games to pick.
Hulk? No.
What was that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. Sergio in New Mexico is our guest picker today. Sergio, how's it going? You're on Talkin' Cowboys.
It's going good, guys. How y'all?
What's up, sir?
Fantastic. Ready to get going here in just a second. So we've got 6 games, as always. 5 of them are non-Cowboys games. And then, of course, the Cowboys game is the final one to tap it all off. We'll start with Sergio on this one. It's the Steelers at the Ravens. Of course, Big Ben closing out his home career the other day with a win but now he goes on the road to face a Lamar Jackson-less Ravens team. Sergio, who you got?
I'm going to take the Steelers on that one.
Okay, I believe you said Steelers. You kind of broke up there a little bit. I want to clarify just to make sure. Steelers, right?
Yes, sir, Steelers.
Awesome. All right. Isaiah, who you got?
No, I'm going with the Ravens.
With the Ravens?
Yeah. I'm going with the Steelers.
Steelers, Steel City. Rob Phillips?
No Lamar Jackson. Kyle, thank you for the scoop. I'll go with the Steelers.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Steelers as well on that one. Now moving into the Bears at the Vikings. Who you got here, Isaiah?
Vikings.
Okay. Heckma?
Yeah, I'm going to go Vikings too.
I'll go with Minnesota. You know what? I'm going to flip it. I'm going to say the Bears are going to get a win here on the road against Minnesota. Rob?
Wow.
Red Rifle.
Vikings at home.
Vikings at home. And then Sergio, who you got?
I'm going with the Vikings as well.
All righty. Very quick. Going with the Vikings. I'm all alone on that one. I was all alone last week, by the way, with the Chiefs. I chose the Bengals, and everybody else chose the Chiefs. And the Bengals won that game.
I tell you, that Bengals pick, that burned me. That Bengals pick burned me, boy.
You're darn right. It's about time they get me back because I've picked them on multiple occasions, and they have lost a ton of games. All right, Washington football team at the New York Giants. The Giants, believe it or not, have won 5 of their last 6 against Washington. I don't see anything changing. Give me the Washington football team on the road, Isaiah.
Give me the Washington new name on February 2nd team.
The Admirals? Yeah. Sergio?
I'm going to go with the Washington team, I guess. It's going to be a snooze fest no matter what.
Yeah, that's right. Snooze fest in the NFC East. Heckma, who you got?
This is one of those toilet bowl games that you love to have us pick. I'm going to go with the Admirals.
Okay.
I hope that's not the name.
It's probably going to be the name, Rob.
You guys just break news on their name? I'll go with the football team. What if it's just the football team on February 2nd? That'd be interesting.
That would be pretty hilarious, honestly, if it does end up staying that way. Okay, Saints at the Falcons. New Orleans has allowed 9.8 points per game in the last 4 weeks. That's the fewest in the NFL. Do the Saints defense keep their streak rolling? Heckma, who you got?
Saints got to have this game, and I'm going with the Saints. Let the good times roll.
All right. Rob?
Yeah, Saints have more to play for. Give me the New Orleans Saints.
Sergio?
I'm going to take New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Saints here, too. Isaiah can make up a game.
Yin yang in his thing.
You going A? You going with the A?
Yin yang in his thing.
Going with ATL?
No, man, the Saints. What y'all talking about? Y'all didn't stand up and get crunk. That's what they play down there.
But the Yin Yang Twins is from Atlanta.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But they don't play their music in Atlanta. They play their music in the Saints.
Okay.
The Saints, that's the Superdome.
But if you said stand up and get crowd,
yeah, that's what
that was a very confusing pick. You used like the only artist that could apply to both of those cities.
You like that?
No, that's like the opposite of what
like that?
it's supposed to.
That's the Johnny Cochran in me.
No.
He basically just said they're going to tie.
Yeah. If it's a tie, Isaiah gets double points.
On my wavelength.
If they tie, Isaiah gets 2 points.
Don't do that. Don't
it's true.
do that.
It's true. He's behind by like 25 games right now, so it's fine. He can do that.
Probably.
Chargers at the Raiders. Winner goes to the playoffs. If the Colts lose and they tie, they can also both go to the playoffs. But who wants to hear about that? Winner gets the 6th seed in the AFC. LA versus LV. Who you got, Rob?
Man, I'm going to go with Justin Herbert at the end of the day. Chargers find a way on the road. They advance.
Sergio?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rob on that one.
Going with the Chargers there. Isaiah?
So far.
Okay.
I'm going with Vegas.
Wow. Going with the Raiders.
I'm going with Coach Bisaccia on this one, man. Yeah.
He's done a great job.
I'm for Coach Bisaccia, too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. Man, this is a tough one. I think the Chargers are a better team.
Pick 'em.
But give me the Raiders at home at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. I think the Raiders get it. I think Man, that's crazy that the Chargers could miss the playoffs.
But everything that Vegas has been through, if they make the playoffs, that's going to be crazy.
Magnificent. So, yeah, give me the Raiders at home. I think it should be a fun one in that regard. All right, the final one we've all been waiting for. It's the Cowboys at the Eagles. Sergio, we'll let you start us off on this one. Who you got, and give us a score prediction as well.
I'm going to go ahead and go pull with our boys, even though, I mean, they're still the better team. It doesn't really matter what. So let's go 24. We'll go 24-14.
All right, well, 24-14, an ugly game from Sergio. Sergio, thanks so much for being our guest picker this week. We will talk to you again down the line, and thanks for your support, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Sergio from New Mexico, the land of enchantment, here on Talking Cowboys. He thinks it's going to be an ugly game. I don't necessarily disagree with him. The way that he sighed going into that pick, it sounded like a Heckma Harrison Tostitos Championship Plaza 2-0 win over the Eagles. That's what it sounded like, but I don't know. I don't know if that's what it will be. But Rob, who you got on this one?
Man, I came in saying I was going to say a tie, but you know what? I'm not going to do that. I think, look, it's a toss-up because we don't know lineups and all that stuff at the end of the day or playing time. I'll go with the Eagles at home, just in a toss-up, kind of low-scoring, 21-20 Philly.
What? Can you say that again?
I'm going with Philly in this game. Cowboys are a better team, but they're already missing key guys. They're going on the road. Yeah, I'll take the Eagles.
Okay. All right, Isaiah?
Barbecue over cheesesteak. Going with Dallas.
Going with Dallas. Score?
24-17.
24-17. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here, but I also think it will be an ugly, gross, downright weird win. Give me 23-16, the final score. Cowboys get the dub.
Tostitos Plaza once and again. And I'm predicting boys win 27-13. That's my score. I think defensively we shut them out. Do a really good job against them in the running game, but I'm giving them 13 points at least.
Give them 13, maybe a little bit late, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go. Guys, we're done with the regular season.
Sounds good to me.
Done with the regular season. We've got playoffs next time up on Talking Cowboys. It feels oh so nice to get to this point in the campaign, but that does it for us throughout the regular season. When we come back, hopefully it'll be a Victory Monday, but no matter what, it is a playoff Monday on Talking Cowboys presented by Tostitos. Hope you had some fun with us today. For Chris Beam, for Isaiah Stanback, Rob Phillips, for Kyle Yeomans, and for Heckma Harrison. Heckma, everybody turn down your headphones because Heckma's about to let it ride, because what do we say on Fridays?
Cowboy Nation, I hope your team wins.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!